Do you get the exposure right?
Oh yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. Okay, so the great part is I have 2 mochas here, and they're not both for me. One is for the cameraman, but the cameraman gets gassy when he has lactose. So we'll see how long this trip lasts. I might have to drop you off on the mountain. Drop you off up there, along with the guy we have in the trunk. The cameraman. Let's just say I might be filming my own stuff after this. Okay, let's go to the mountain. Let's go up the mountain. Go see some stuff. I gotta drop something off on the mountain. Another person didn't subscribe. Perhaps even the cameraman if he doesn't process the lactose in this mocha properly. But that's what we're gonna be doing. So yeah, let's go to the mountain. Shut up in there! Train the muscles, not the joints. Welcome back to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about bodybuilding versus just lifting weights. Now, a lot of you guys know this, but I'm just going to talk about it a little bit because this is an important thing to understand when it comes down to the paradigm of why you are lifting. Now, the first and foremost reason why I lift is to stay in shape, to keep the blood flowing, and to keep the body functioning in some way, shape, or form, because you need to exercise it in some way. It's kind of like having a pet, like, you know, a budgie or whatever, and you got to make sure the budgie doesn't fall over and die one day because you haven't fed it. So this is one of the things you have to do in order to take care of the body is to exercise. So I find weight training a very effective way of doing this. Now, the thing is that people mix up a lot of times when it comes down to natural bodybuilding, and I've done this, and I did it a lot during my career in the beginning stages, was that I would mix up lifting weights with bodybuilding. And what I mean by this is that I would look at nothing but strength or numbers all the time instead of actually looking at how I'm lifting the weight. Because the truth is, how you lift the weight will dictate what part of the body you're working. You could be doing the exact same exercise, but if you change the way you lift the weight, such as a slower repetition or a subtle difference in the change in technique, that can totally change how much weight you can lift or change what muscle that you are influencing. So you have to decide, are you a bodybuilder or are you a weightlifter? And if you're a bodybuilder and your first priority is building muscle mass and at the same time keeping the joints in one piece, you may want to change your technique from time to time or mess around with lighter weights or doing slower reps. Mountain. And not be so concerned with how much weight you're lifting, but actually concerned about what is producing the most results for you. Because it's not about being weaker. Just because you're using less weight doesn't mean you're weaker. Sometimes you're actually stronger, but you're working in an angle or an angle of attack in an exercise that challenges the muscle more. So you're actually stronger even though you're lifting lighter weight. So it's important for you to understand that it's not always about the weight. Don't just pay attention to the weight itself as a variable. Pay attention to the weight and the exercise and how you're doing it. You know, you have to take in all these variables. So there's some old school bodybuilders and old school trainers out there that basically would emphasize a certain type of technique in a lift that would make you look like you're totally weak, like you're basically like 5 years old all over again. You're only lifting a 5-pound dumbbell, but you're doing this extremely different range of motion than you're used to or different angle of attack, but you're getting way more bodybuilding results because of it. So it's a great way to increase your enthusiasm is to mess around with your weights a little bit and find ways to just hit that muscle group instead of ways to lift more weight. So case in point, sometimes the way you do a dumbbell curl, whether you keep the elbows back, whether you bring them forward, whether you rotate the arms out or not, this can make a difference in how much weight you should be lifting or not. And also it can make a difference in how well you access certain muscle fiber types. Another way to look at this is if you're just doing slow reps or fast reps. Obviously, if you're doing fast reps, your time under tension, it might be the same as with slow reps, but you're going to get a lot more reps when you're doing fast reps as opposed to doing slow reps. So take this into account. And it doesn't mean slow reps are worse than fast reps, but it is important for you to realize that each one is stimulating the muscle in a different way, and they both have their value. So yeah, don't worry so much about weight all the time. Think about weight as just one small parameter in the whole thing, but also what muscles are you accessing. And of course, always pay attention to making sure that you're not tweaking the joints in the process just because you're trying to get too creative. I mean, because there is that. You can get too creative with your angles and cause exponential damage to your joints in the process without really getting any extra muscle mass gains. So yeah, pay attention to that. So anyway, I hope this helps you out in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. And if you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalgallantbodybuilding.com. And thanks to the patron supporters, and take care for now. Mountain.